Not holding back. We're now hearing from former President Donald Trump after this week's additional charges were filed in the classified documents case. He repeated a familiar argument while speaking at a dinner for GOP candidates in Iowa just last night.
They want to weaponize the IRS just like they've weaponized the Justice Department and the FBI. And by the way, if I weren't running, I would have nobody coming after me. Or if I was losing by a lot, I would have nobody coming after me.
All this as he continues to await more possible indictments on election interference from both the DOJ and prosecutors in the state of Georgia. Joining me now to discuss is Phil Rucker, deputy national editor of the Washington Post and soon to be national editor and co-author of the books A Very Stable Genius and I Alone Can Fix It. Phil, thanks for being with us. So Trump has had a pretty standard response to all of these charges, right? Attacking prosecutors, claiming that it's all political. Do you think charges on election interference, specifically both from the DOJ and in Georgia, will elicit the same kind of response, or will there be something different here?
You know, I fully expect that any potential charges to come either federally on the January 6th investigation or in Georgia in that investigation into the efforts to overturn the 2020 election, that they would just elicit the same kind of response from former President Trump. This is a very familiar playbook that he has had over the years as he's faced criminal liability, including in the more recent indictments where he just uses each charge against him, every single count, as more evidence in the minds of his supporters that he's being unfairly persecuted. That's the narrative that Trump and his allies are trying to concoct before the American people. And it does seem to be working, at least with some segment of the Republican electorate, as he remains the leading candidate for the Republican presidential nomination.
Phil, I mean, we do know prosecutors from special counsel Jack Smith's office did question a White House aide about Trump's state of mind during the 2020 election. And I know in your book, I Alone Can Fix It, details the last year of Trump's term, including January 6th. So why and how exactly do you think Trump's state of mind is significant in this case?
It's very significant, you know, for a number of reasons. First of all, it helps establish the full sort of narrative that prosecutors would have to put together as they assess what charges to bring in an indictment. But it can also speak to whether Trump knew whether the election was accurate or not. I mean, there's conflicting reporting about this, but the sense that he knew the truth, which was that Joe Biden won the election and yet was trying to perpetuate this falsehood before his own supporters and the American people, which would speak to the former president's intent, which is something that prosecutors have been trying to figure out in all the interviews they've been doing with so many people in and around the Trump circle.
It is important to say we have heard from the former president directly. I know he posted on Truth Social that, quote, "We'll have fun on the stand," and calling it the trial of the century. Careful wording there, right? Using "we" that may have been intentional. Do you think the former president's lawyers would actually let him testify? And do you think he wants to take the stand, or was that just sort of a blunder?
I think he's sort of an ultimate showman, and I think he was trying to effectively kind of gin up interest in a potential trial. I don't necessarily take him at his word that he has decided he would want to take the stand and testify if, in fact, these charges come through, as appear to certainly be possible at this hour. But that being said, it's very much in keeping with his patterns over the years to try to drum up interest in any sort of news event that involves himself and leave the audience, the voters, the American people in suspense about whether he would actually take the stand.
Phil Rucker, thank you so much for your analysis.